The Battle of Tukayyid, Part 1. Introduction. Tukayyid. The name resounds in history, in the company of such famed battles of Crécy, Agincourt, Midway, and others. The backwater world of Tukayyid, proxy planet for Terra, played unfortunate host to the Comguard's stand against the clans who invaded the Inner Sphere, pitting 50 regiments of battlemechs, armour and infantry against 25 galaxies of clan omnimechs and elementals. Never before in the history of the Inner Sphere or the clans has there been a single battle of such gigantic proportions. And the Comguards won. The Truce of Tukayyid stopped the clan's advance toward Terra for 15 years. The successor states of the Inner Sphere know they must spend those years finding a way to upgrade their armaments enough to prevent the invaders from advancing any nearer to the cradle of humanity, or from conquering any more Inner Sphere planets in the process. In the 4 brief years since it was fought, the Battle of Tukayyid has taken on tremendous historical importance. This one event allowed the Inner Sphere continued survival, handed the clans their greatest defeat, and serves as a textbook study of Inner Sphere mech versus clan omnimech battles in a variety of terrain. Clearly, the key factors in deciding victory on Tukayyid were the availability of supplies and the number and type of troop allowed to engage the enemy. The majority of the clans, accustomed to fighting fierce battles that quickly led to decisive victories, did not prepare for the lengthy fighting on Tukayyid. Only Clan Wolf took care to ensure adequate supplies, first by fitting most of their omnimechs with energy weapons, and also by creating adequate supply caches with sufficient defences to keep them out of enemy hands. On advice from Ilkhan Ulrich Kerensky, Clan Ghost Bear also configured many mechs with energy weapons and, during the fighting, when the Ghost Bear supplies began to run dangerously low, gave priority to capturing Comguard supply caches. Further, those clans that practiced Bachal weakened themselves to dangerously low levels through the bidding process. How did these factors affect the outcome of Tukayyid? Only Clan Wolf both provided for adequate supplies and forbade Bachal. Because of their foresight, they alone took both of their target cities and won a decisive victory for the clans. Clan Ghostbear, by capturing Comguard materiel, took the city of Spanak and thereby won a marginal victory. Clan Jade Falcon's choice to disallow bidding aided them in fighting the Comguards to a draw, based on relative troop losses. The other 4 clans practiced Bachal and ignored the need for adequate supply lines, and they suffered because of these choices. The Comguards decisively defeated the Steel Vipers, Smoke Jaguars, Nova Cats, and Diamond Sharks, and even the excellent performance of Clans Wolf and Ghostbear could not save the clans from a resounding overall defeat. Following his Bachal with Comstar's Presenter Marshal Anastasius Vogt, Ilkhan Ulrich Kerensky sent the following message to the warriors of Clan Wolf and to the Khans of the other invading clans. Trothkin, today I have bid the future of Terra. The Presenter Marshal of Comstar has offered challenge from his Comguards to all the clans whose forces invaded the Inner Sphere. If we defeat them, they will cede the court of the Star League to our control and give all of Comstar's considerable resources to our cause. Terra can be ours within the year. In return, the Presenter Marshal demands that if his Comguards defeat us, we must halt our advance at the current front line for the next 15 years. I have accepted these terms. The Comguards can field perhaps 50 regiments. In all likelihood, a force of 25 galaxies is an appropriate response. I offer the following advice. Some will say that because the Comguards have seen little combat, and because most warriors of the Inner Sphere have thus far proven weak and ill-equipped, that therefore the Comguards are no worthy foe. Beware this dangerous assumption. Comstar pilots battlemechs from the days of the Star League. Though these units do not compare to our omnimechs, they are far superior to the battlemechs of the successor states. This battle will be neither short nor easy, and I advise that we prepare for a long campaign. If you intend to win victory, configure your units with energy weapons and create and protect adequate supply lines. Our superior weapons are our greatest advantage. Wherever possible, confront the enemy at long range, Make the most of that advantage. When facing Innisphere units equipped primarily with long-range missiles or other systems capable of striking at a distance, close and attack at point-blank range. Our enemies cannot respond effectively with ballistic weapons at such short ranges, and you will attack without fear or reprisal. Clan Honour. More than any other factor, the clan's rigid code of honour allowed the armies of the Innisphere to effectively resist them. On the battlefield, most clan warriors follow 3 conventions that weaken their fighting ability: the practice of dueling, refusal to engage in physical attacks during mech combat, and reluctance to flee from a losing battle. Unfortunately, as their advance on Terra stalled in the face of treacherous tactics used against them by Innisphere commanders, the clans learned how to abandon their code of conduct when necessary. Beginning with their first contact with the Innisphere mech warriors in the periphery, the clans faced tactics that convinced them that the people of the Innisphere behaved with no sense of honour. Their reaction to this disappointing discovery varied. Most clan mech warriors continued to abide by clan conventions of battle, refusing to lower themselves to their enemy's level by breaking their own code of honour. Others gave the enemy the benefit of the doubt, fighting in the clan manner until the enemy behaved dishonourably. At that point, the clan mech warriors no longer considered themselves bound by their rules of battle, and fought without regard for clan honour. A few, believing that Innisphere mech warriors didn't deserve honourable treatment under any circumstances, threw the clan rules of warfare to the winds. When the Il-Khan announced that he had accepted a challenge to battle the Comguards on Tukayyid, many clan mech warriors hoped that the Comguards would prove different from the dishonourable soldiers of the successor state. Because the Comguards used vintage Star League-era equipment and the clans venerated the memory of the Star League, the clans believed it possible that the Comguards' sense of honour would be as spotless as their shiny white battle mechs. The first skirmishes dashed that vain hope, however. The warriors of Comstar proved even more dishonourable by clan standards than their successor state allies, every battle seeming to turn into an ambush. Despite their dishonourable tactics, the Comguards otherwise proved their fighting skill well enough to earn a certain measure of respect from the clans. During the Battle of Tukayyid, the degree to which clan warriors behaved honourably depended largely upon how conservative their respective clans were, and how much respect each clan felt for the people of the Innisphere. Clans Novacat and Diamond Shark followed the code of honour virtually without fail. Clan Novacat because their leaders were the most conservative of all the clans in the Innisphere, and Clan Diamond Shark because their limited combat experience against the Innisphere warriors made them incapable of adapting their fighting style. Clan Ghostbear's conservatism caused them to abide strictly by the rules of combat during the opening stages of the battle, but a pragmatic streak, coupled with a desire to win the field at all costs, soon overcame their reservations. By the end of the campaign, Clan Ghostbear had learned to use all sorts of slimy Innisphere tricks. Clan Smoke Jaguar, still smarting from their defeat at Luthien, chose to bend the rules in the opening stages of the conflict. By the time the Comguards had forced them off the planet, they had abandoned all pretense of fighting honourably. Disgust as the Comguard tactics, along with a fierce desire to make a better showing than Clan Wolf, caused the Khans of Clan Jade Falcon to declare the Comguards Desgra, and so not entitled to honourable treatment in battle. The Jade Falcon mech warriors fought without restraint throughout the Tukayyid campaign, while Clan Steel Viper took a moderate approach, heeding the code at the outset, but disregarding the rules once their offensive began to bog down. As for Clan Wolf, the lone victors of Tukayyid had done away with the foolishness of imposing impractical rules on how a warrior may fight long before they set foot on the world of the clan's defeat. The Comguards. Before landing his Comguards on Tukayyid, Presenter Marshal Anastasius Vogt gave the following address. "We are approaching Tukayyid, and our hour of truth draws near. During these past months you have all received innumerable briefings. Now that battle is to be joined, I urge you to remember the following vital tactics. The clans have an enormous technological advantage, which we must negate whenever and wherever we can. When triggering an ambush, wait until the last second before springing the trap. For the mechs and vehicles assigned to ambush the clans, we have placed a premium on firepower at the expense of range and movement. Therefore, your opening salvo will be your best and perhaps only chance to devastate the enemy. Strike with everything you have. After your first volley, the clans will use their superior mobility to fight at range. You will only get one good shot. Do not waste it. When engaging the enemy in a running battle, choose swift vehicles with long-range weapons. Avoid bogging down in stationary engagements. Force the clans to use up as much power and ammunition fighting you off as you possibly can. If we can keep the clans in the field long enough, they will run out of ammunition and vital supplies. Accustomed as they are to quick victory, a longer campaign will also eat away at their morale. Your skill and bravery are beyond question, but the enemy also fights with skill and courage. In this battle, discipline will determine the victor. Remember that, and we can win the day. Presenter Marshal Anastasius Vogt directed his forces from a hidden command bunker carved from the heart of Mount Klein in the Tamo mountain range. The Tamo bunker was a fully functional Star League strategic command post, equipped with an interactive virtual reality construct that allowed the Presenter Marshal to coordinate every move in the battle as it raged across Tukayyid from this single central location. The holotanks aboard clan jump ships employed a more advanced version of this same technology to coordinate planetary attack, but because each clan on Tukayyid fought as a distinct unit, while the Comguards fought as a unified army, this particular aspect of their superior technology did not work to their advantage. Comguard mechs. Knowing that his mech warriors would face an enemy with vastly superior technology, Presenter Marshal Vogt issued specifications for the field modification of several Comguard mechs. Even the Comguard Star League era mechs couldn't match the power of the clan's Omnimechs without design alteration. Presenter Marshal Vogt ordered Comstar Techs to draft design upgrades based on existing plans for weapons developed during the final years of the Star League that would allow his warriors to use the full potential of these devices. In addition, Comstar appropriated blueprints for a number of new mechs produced in 3051 and 3052 by the successor states that took into account Innosphere developments based on their understanding of clan Omnimech technology. Comstar Techs incorporated only these design alterations involving the limited swapping of easily replaced components in the months prior to the battle, but the Comguard forces benefited overall from a huge cache of VLAR 300XL engines discovered on Terra. The Comguards fielded the following post-Star League era mechs: the UM-R63 Urbamech, the OTT-7K Ostscout, the ASN-23 Assassin, the CLNT-2-3U Clint, the WTH-2 Whitworth, the BJ-2 Blackjack, the HBK-5M Hunchback, SCP-10 Scorpion, OSR-2D Ostrock, OTL-5M Ostsol, CPLT-C3 Catapult, TDR-7M Thunderbolt, WHM-7M Warhammer, MAD-5M Marauder, ON-1-M Orion, BLR-3M Battlemaster, STK-5M Stalker, CP-11-A Cyclops, and AS-7-K Atlas. The mech warriors chosen to pilot the refitted mechs informally christened the new machines the Clan Busters. Deployment. The Comguards, clans, and successor states all organise their troops for deployment in different ways. The successor state armies deploy in detachments of 3, with some variance among their smaller detachments, with the exception of aerospace support for mech detachments and the Federated Commonwealth's Regimental Combat Teams, or RCTs. The successor states do not use combined arms units. The Comguards organise in detachments of 6. An individual unit or an infantry platoon equals 1 level 1 detachment, 6 level 1 detachments equal a level 2 detachment, 6 twos a level 3, and so forth. At level 3 or higher, all Comguard forces are combined arms detachments, consisting of mechs, fighters, armoured vehicles, and infantry. A level 4 detachment, the equivalent to a division, is made up of a combination of different units that adds up to 216. Unlike a successor states division, which contains 216 mechs, such a division might include 2 3s of mechs, which is 72 units, 1 3 of aerospace fighters, 36 units, 2 3s of tanks, 72 units, and 1 3 of infantry, 4 battalions or 252 men. The clans deploy in detachments of 5, said to represent the 5 points of a stylized star. The clans attach great importance to the star symbol. The best laid plans. Smoke Jaguar Elemental Boland fired the jump jets of his thruster pack, slowing his descent. He'd fallen close enough to the planet's surface to make out the individual mechs of the Comguards below him. Boland smiled. His cluster was about to become the first clan unit to set foot on Tukayyid. stepping stone to terror. The first. When it came time to activate his jets again, he held back, watching with amused interest as his velocity indicator rose into the red. The first. He would be the first warrior to set foot on Tukayyid. His the honour. Even if it killed him. Now well ahead of the rest of the 6th Jaguar Dragoons, Bolin began a long, continuous burn with his jump jets. He was still falling far too fast. Green branches filling his vision, whipping up past him. Then the world went black. Bolin's battle armour woke him with an injection. It killed his pain with a second one, and with a third it restored his lust for battle. It could not, however, mend a severed spinal cord or repair 2 shattered legs. Determined to strike the first blow for the clan, he levered himself up on his elbows and fired an SRM shot at a passing guillotine, which missed. When the rest of his star found him after the battle, they carried him back to his dropship. His military career had ended in broken bones and blood, and his commander would reprimand him for breaking formation during landing. Still, Bolin was content. The clans, all of them, had formally recognised him as the first clan warrior to touch surface of Tukayyid, the Accursed. The campaign. Clan Smoke Jaguar. Hungry for revenge after their humiliating failure to capture the Combine capital of Luthien, the Smoke Jaguars bid for and won the right to land on Tukayyid first, ahead of the other clans. In order to gain that coveted honour, the Jaguar commanders bid away an entire galaxy, and ended up fighting their campaign with only Alpha and Beta galaxies. The Smoke Jaguar Khans further weakened their chances for success by splitting their forces, hoping to thereby capture both of their target cities before the other clans had much chance to act. Confident of their troops' ability to fight circles around dirty inner sphere freebirths, the Khans believed 1 galaxy per target to be more than enough. Khan Edmund Hoyt ordered Alpha Galaxy to establish a landing zone in the Dingy Mountains near the city of Dingy Heights, while Junior Khan Sarah Weaver would lead Beta Galaxy's combat drop into the marshes of the Rassus River Delta in preparation for an assault on Port Rassus. The Dingy campaign began well for the clan, with the 6th Jaguar Dragoons quickly wiping out the Comguard's Green 50th Division, the Uncluttered Speech, and thereby securing Alpha Galaxy's drop site. When the Dragoons and the Jaguar Grenadiers began their march on Dingy Heights, they encountered only modest resistance, remnants of the 50th launching several light raids but doing little damage. The clan warriors advanced toward the seemingly undefended Dingy Pass, confident of swiftly capturing the city that lay beyond. Unknown to the Jaguars, the heavier elements of the Comguard's 299th Division lay hidden in the pass. Only the unclan-like caution of Star Colonel Brandon Howell would save the Grenadiers from annihilation. Under his leadership, elements of the Grenadiers broke through Comguard forces to the far side of the pass, ending up on the doorstep of Dingy Heights. Khan Hoyt also attempted to break out, leading his 6th Jaguar Dragoons in a run past the remaining mechs of the 299th and 323rd Divisions, courtesy through fort and negative communications. Unfortunately for the Jaguars, Acolyte Trevis Gray of the Negative Communications Division picked off the Khan with a well-placed laser shot to the cockpit of Hoyt's summoner. In the meantime, Khan Weaver and the Omnimechs of Beta Galaxy had bogged down less than a quarter of the way to their target city. The initial drop went well, the pools and marshes of the Rassus Delta giving them and their elementals a soft landing, inflicting fewer casualties than those usual for such a manoeuvre. As they began their advance on the port, however, the Jaguars found that wading through the swamp forced them to move at a painfully slow pace. Comguard mechs concealed in the Delta's deep pools and sluggish river channels repeatedly ambushed them during their slow march toward the port, negating their clan weapon range advantage and their mech's superior heat technology. Well-placed artillery would herd the clan mechs ever deeper into the Delta, where still more Comguard mechs waited in ambush. And by the end of the 3rd day, the mechs of the Comguard's 207th Division, the Pounders, had surrounded Beta Galaxy's command star. Junior Khan Sarah Weaver would die in the fighting when her Warhawk's fusion engine went critical. With the leaderless Khan Smoke Jaguar forces facing the fresh troops of the Comguard's 2nd Army, Ilkhan Ulrich Kerensky chose to terminate the Smoke Jaguar campaign. The dispirited warriors of Beta Galaxy obediently retreated toward their drop zone, but several of Alpha Galaxy's units proved less cooperative. The 6th Jaguar Dragoons felt particularly angered by Ilkhan Kerensky's orders, viewing them as a Wolf Clan snub intended to erase the honour they had gained through the sacrifice of the Jaguar Grenadiers and the loss of Khan Hoyt. Ignoring the Ilkhan's order to retreat, the Dragoons continued their advance down the Dingy Pass, accompanied by many like-minded warriors from other surviving Alpha Galaxy clusters. The sheer numerical superiority of the Comguards in the pass, however, eventually overwhelmed them. Unable to fight their way back through the pass to aid their floundering companions, the few remaining warriors of the Grenadiers chose to launch an attack on Dingy Heights. Though the assault never had a chance of succeeding, it did force the Comguard's 82nd and 322nd Divisions, Justice Through Words and the Tradesman's Pal, to pull back into the city, thereby allowing a few of the Grenadiers to escape to their drop zone. According to some reports, Star Colonel Brandon Howell was one of the Grenadiers to reach safety. MechWarrior Carlton wrinkled his nose in disgust. Despite his Nova's excellent filtration system, the air in his cockpit still reeked of stagnant pools and decaying reed beds. Grimly, Carlton sloshed his mech through the swamp. What a miserable place to fight a war. As he strode along, he consoled himself by imagining the expression on the face of his free-birth tech, Samantha, when she would see and smell the muck crusted on the Nova's leg assemblies. He could see her now, eyes flashing, fist clenched. She'd need one hand free to pinch her nostrils shut. MechWarrior Carlton, enemy armour at 300 metres and closing! Jolted back to reality by his Star Commander's shout, Carlton felt his face grow hot. As advance point for the Star, he should have detected the approaching hovercraft first. Pivoting, he jabbed his mech's left arm toward the enemy, discharging a volley of laser fire at the approaching Gabriel. The tiny hovercraft was moving far too fast to hit. All 6 of his shots went wide. He tracked it for a moment longer, contemplating a volley from the array of lasers in his Nova's right arm, but chose not to risk the tremendous heat build-up such an attack would create. Instead, he turned his attention to the scout craft's larger and slower cousins approaching him in its wake. Carlton aligned his crosshairs on an incoming Kanga fighter, and failed to notice the twin Vs of 2 waves zeroing in on his position from the far side of the river. His finger tightened on the firing stud just as a pair of Flashman mechs rose from the channel 30 metres behind him. The Flashmans fired their lasers at his Nova's weak back armour. Startled, he flipped his mech's left arm around and fired his remaining lasers at the enemy machines. Blinking away tears of pain from the sudden unbearable rush of heat in the cockpit, he glanced at his monitors. All 3 of his laser beams had hit, but both Comguard mechs remained standing. Before they could fire again, Carlton snapped his couch's eject button. As his ejection couch rose above Carlton's Nova, the enemy's return fire slammed into the doomed mech. He cursed under his breath. Neither Samantha nor any other tech would repair the damage to his machine from this battle. The Comguards had shot the Nova to pieces. He looked down and he cursed even louder as his couch dropped toward the centre of a huge black weed-choked pond. As the noxious odours of the swamp struck him full force, he wondered if death in a flaming mech cockpit might have been preferable. Situation: Rassis River Delta, Tukayyid. Though Khan Sarah Weaver's decision to begin the campaign for Port Rassis with a mech drop allowed her to deploy her forces quickly, Beta Galaxy swiftly lost the time gained by such a manoeuvre as its Omnimex slogged through the marshes of the Rassis River Delta. Remembering their humiliating loss to the Draconis Combine and the swamps of Walcott, the Smoke Jaguars viewed their present battlefield warily, and with good reason. The Comguards would take advantage of the swampy terrain, their mechs rising in ambush from the delta's deep pools and river channels, with their heat sinks submerged in cool water helping to dissipate the heat build-up from weapons fire. The Comguards would wreak havoc on the enemy, and made the Jaguars terrified of all bodies of water more than a mech's ankle deep. The Guards also used hover tanks to skim lightly and swiftly over the marshes and flank the clan Omnimex and Elementals as they floundered in the bogs. Caught between shots from passing hover tanks and constant, unexpected mech attack, Khan Weaver's Beta Galaxy never even came close to threatening the city of Port Rassis. Ambush at the Dingy Pass, springing the trap. Presenter Marie Renery increased the magnification on her mech's forward view screen and swore softly. The Smoke Jaguar Vanguard had walked right into her hands and then suddenly stopped. Squelching the temptation to snap the Comguard's trap shut immediately, the presenter scanned the clan formation. She had noticed that some of the Jaguar Omnimex were slower to halt than others. The clansmen were experienced warriors. When a warrior had piloted a mech long enough, he or she learned to move the huge machines almost as smoothly as their own body. Often, however, mechs reflected the unconscious body language of their pilot. Watching the way the clan mechs moved, Marie could see the resentment in the warriors who piloted them. Their mechs leaned forward almost as if they tethered by a huge invisible leash. Someone was holding the reluctant fools back. But who? Suddenly she spied the culprit, a mad cat, standing with supreme confidence in front of a puma, whose stance indicated that its warrior would love to throw himself at the larger mech. She zoomed in further, searching the mad cat for insignia with which to designate it as a primary target for her comm guards. Before she could find any, the mad cat vanished from her view screen. Without warning, the Jaguars had begun to charge down the pass. Marie ripped the camouflage netting off her guillotine and thumbed on the comlink as she stepped up toward the edge of the cliff overlooking the pass. "Comm guards, get that lead mad cat!" Marie ran forward and jumped off the cliff, triggering her mech's jump jets on the way down. She had a perfect view of the battle as she descended, and it didn't look good. The jump-capable mechs of the Negative Communications Division were dropping into the pass amid a hail of fire, but they were too slow. The blasted Jaguars were pouring down the pass at full speed. Most of the division would be lucky to fire a single salvo before the enemy ran past them. Of all the Comguard mechs, only Adept Singh's Crockett had managed to intercept the Mad Cat. Marie felt her hopes rising until the Puma she'd seen earlier jumped between Singh and his target. She watched Singh dispatch the light Omni-Mech with a hit to its cockpit before he would fall under massed fire from other nearby clan machines. Now only Marie and her guillotine stood in the Mad Cat's way, and as the clan warrior drew nearer, nimbly dancing his mech away from weapons fire, responding with his own deadly accurate attacks, Marie knew she couldn't stop him. She'd only hoped she could slow him down. Situation: Dingy Pass, Tukayyid. After easily crushing the green troops of the 50th Division, the warriors of Alpha Galaxy would advance on the city of Dingy Heights. The Jaguar Grenadiers had won the Bachal to determine who would lead the assault on the city, and they marched all the way to the pass without any major action. To Star Colonel Brandon Howell, the apparently undefended pass seemed too good to be true. Realizing that Comstar's Presenter Marshal would never leave such a vital spot unguarded, he sent 2 stars of the Grenadiers forward in a mock end run designed to draw the hidden Comguards out into the open. Then, he ordered the rest of his Omni-Mechs to hug the walls of the pass while advancing at flank speed. Howell's caution saved the Grenadiers from annihilation. Though they took heavy losses, the Star Colonel's tactics allowed a sizable portion of the unit to fight its way through the pass. On the far side, they immediately engaged the Comguard's 323rd and 299th Divisions that blocked their path to Dingy Heights. With the Jaguar Grenadiers in possession of the far end of the pass, Khan Edmund Hoyt had a perfect opportunity to decimate the Comguards courtesy through Fort and Negative Communications Divisions that crowded the floor of the pass. Instead, Khan Hoyt inexplicably ordered all of his clusters to hold position while he led his 6th Dragoons in a charge through the pass to relieve the Grenadiers. Some students of clan psychology and military tactics believe that Hoyt acted to preserve his own position. Brandon Howell's successes on Tukayyid stood to earn him considerable prestige, and Hoyt may have feared that Howell would replace him as Khan unless he did something drastic. By attempting to duplicate Howell's daring maneuver, Hoyt may have hoped to confirm his own bravery and fighting prowess in the eyes of his clan. Whatever the rationale behind the Khan's decision, it ended in disaster. The Grenadiers had sprinted down an almost empty pass, with the Comguard mechs able to engage the swift-moving Grenadiers only briefly as they pounded past. By the time Khan Hoyt had led his troops into the pass, 2 full divisions of angry Comguards now blocked their way. The Jaguar Dragoons fought valiantly, but the Comguard's gauntlet of overwhelming firepower devastated the clan unit. Khan Hoyt himself was killed at the height of the battle, and Ilkhan Kerensky wisely ordered the Jaguars to withdraw before the Comguards destroyed them entirely. Regarding the order to retreat as a wolf insult, the Dragoons refused to obey it. Instead, the trapped Jaguars launched a death or glory strike at the city, and though the odds against them denied the Jaguars any semblance of victory, the attack forced the Comguard's 2nd Army to pull back in order to defend the city, allowing a few of the Grenadiers to escape back to their landing zone. Battle for Tamo Bunker. Fortune's Favour. Though it has become only a minor footnote in the annals of history, one incident took place on Tukayyid that has captured the imagination of all who have studied the Titanic battle. On the third day of the fighting, the Gamma Light supernova star of the Smoke Jaguar's 122nd Striker Cluster, the Spotted Cats of Death, passed within 30 kilometers of Presenter Marshal Fox's hidden command bunker in the heart of Mount Klein. Though it was nearly certain that the Jaguars would fail to detect the hidden post, Adept Rita Brand chose to guarantee that failure. Charged with providing the bunker's first line of defense, Adept Brand hid her command in hastily dug foxholes, and from these concealed positions, Brand waited until the Omnimex of Gamma Light came within point-blank range, then issued the order for a strafing and bombing run from her aerospace support unit at the time that her heavy mechs would break from the foxholes and open fire. None of the clan warriors escaped, and none of them managed to pierce our ECM net to warn their cluster of Adept Brand's location. But what if they had? Almost certainly such a fierce defense of an apparently valueless location would have intrigued Khan Edmund Hoyt. He would have ordered the entire 122nd Striker Cluster to search the area, and they would have inevitably discovered the bunker. Despite the confidence in the defences of the Tamo bunker expressed in a Comstar report, the bunker was far from invulnerable. The Smoke Jaguar's combat engineers could have quickly come up with any number of strategies to defeat the granite slabs shielding the bunker's entrance tunnels. They might, for example, have used the tremendous firepower of their orbiting warships to destroy the stone and then cleared the remaining rubble with their mechs. Or they could have attached myoma cables to the slabs and dragged the combined strength of their cluster's 35 mechs and moved the stone that way. They could have also bypassed the protected tunnels and dug their way in through the softer stone of the walls. Though any of these strategies would have served as a considerable delay to their attack on the bunker, the delay wouldn't have saved the Presenter Marshal. If besieged, the Presenter Marshal had few choices for his own defence, and none of them were good. If he ordered the Comguard's 5th and 2nd armies to pull out of Dingy Heights and Port Rassis, he would have lost both cities and both armies as well. Had the Comguards abandoned their pre-prepared positions in order to fight the Smoke Jaguars in the open, the clans would have slaughtered them. If even a single light Omnimech of the 122nd had survived the ambush in the Tamo Mountains, the entire Battle of Tukayyid might have ended very differently. Deprived of the experience and leadership of the Presenter Marshal, the Comguards could have lost, and we might all bear the bondsman's cord on our wrists. Funny how that goes, isn't it? Situation: Tamo Mountains, Tukayyid. In order to win the Bachal for the right to attack the city of Dingy Heights, Khan Hoyt bid away the 122nd Striker Cluster. Unable to use them in the campaign, he instead deployed them as scouts in the nearby Tamo range, a choice that the Presenter Marshal couldn't have foreseen. During debrief after the battle, Presenter Marshal Fott mentioned the Smoke Jaguar's near miss to his commanding officers. When they asked how he would have responded had the Smoke Jaguars located the bunker, he replied that he would have issued them a Bachal, demanding that they face his defenders in one-on-one combat. According to ROM reports, the 122nd Striker Cluster was made up entirely of light stars, with the Gamma Light supernova star eliminated by Adept Rita Brand's furious defense. The Presenter Marshal would have faced 2 light trinaries and a light command star. By issuing the Bachal, Focht would have forced 65% of the Smoke Jaguar mech to sit out the battle, watching as a Comguard's company of assault mechs ripped their comrades to shreds in clan-style duels.